Hey guys, welcome to a Saturday live show. Hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully everything is working correctly, because it appears as though it's not. So if you can see and hear me, if you could give me a thumbs up, thumbs? What the hell's a thumbs? Thumbs up, then I know we're working and everything's going okay. I'll wait till I see that to see if I'm actually, okay, my phone shows me moving. So I got picture. I got a thumbs up. All right, so you guys can hear me. All right, well, welcome to a kind of unplanned live stream. I wasn't entirely sure if I was going to do this today. Trying to figure out some plans and stuff, and yeah. Anyway, so I do have. Let me punch her in, Debbie here. Say hello, Debbie.
Hello.
So she'll be on too. I'll have to punch her in whenever she comes in. Although I did forget to put headphones on. It does look like my signal strength is bouncing all over the place, which is really annoying because I dropped it back down to 720p, and my network is supposed to be better. So hopefully this is working. If you guys are having some problems, make sure you let me know in the discussion. So today's topic is going to be about unhelpful friends. This has been coming up a lot lately, and actually I am look like I'm buffering. So I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on here. But anyways, so that is what we're going to attempt to do. But before I get into that, before I start that, I have to do my normal stuff because, hey, normal stuff is good. And the first part of that is a disclaimer that I am not a therapist nor an attorney. I am an individual much like you guys who has been through a toxic divorce with kids involved, and I've developed some tips and techniques that worked for me that hopefully will work for you to help you get your life back, add some stability into your life, and hopefully repair a significant portion of the damage that your ex has done to your life and stuff like that. Let's see. James says audio is good, but does lag. The video lags. Huh. Okay. Well, that is really weird, but that's what it looks like. So hopefully we can keep the audio portion going. At least because then you can hear me. But yeah, it looks like my signal is not working well. So much for my cable company upgrading my network. Hey, Lyle. Lyle's on. He says no lag here. That's good. Awesome. So the other thing I always like to mention is being anonymous. If you are new to all this stuff, YouTube does give you the option of changing your name to something that's not, Bill Smith. And you could, if you're worried about your anonymity, you should consider doing that so that you can view this without other people seeing that you're there. The other thing I always like to mention is a diagnosis can only be done by a professional. So be very cautious whenever you're throwing around mental disorder terms to other people. If somebody else understands what you're dealing with, then that's one thing. But you do not want to get into a situation to where you are coming across like you're diagnosing your ex, and if you're in court, that could be problematic. And that is basically what this channel is about. And if you are new and you think that this could be helpful for you, please consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing that notification bell so that YouTube will actually tell you whenever I go live and post a video. I've pretty much got into a schedule of doing Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, which is working for me. So hopefully that is going to be the tempo going forward, and then obviously the Tuesday live streams and the every other Saturday when I can live streams. This is like my weekend visitation with you guys. So the other thing I always like to show and or demonstrate is, let's see, Keynote. If you want to get my attention in the chat, just do @DSD is my name. If you do @Duane, it won't tag me. And then if you want to do a question, just go question. And then here is my question. When you do that, it highlights on my side. I see you highlighting me, so this orange thing pops out, which gets my attention. And then I see that there is a question there. And you can see when James just did that to get my attention. The other thing you can do if you want to support the channel, you can use this nifty-difty feature called Super Chat on YouTube, which donates to the channel, and you can type in your message there. And if you've seen previous live streams, you'll know that it reads the message out, does a big thing, and definitely gets my attention. And that's always appreciated. I got some coffee money last time, which was really awesome. And the last part, excuse me, is that was the last part. So let me. Oh, I gotta move this back over here. I'm like, where did my chat window go? It's gone. So let's see who all. Well, we got a few people on here. So that is awesome. Let me see. We got Xanax. Welcome all the way from Israel, if I remember correctly. Divorced Papa from Canada. Voya. I'm not sure what STR stands for. Star. Welcome to the channel. I haven't seen you before. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to a live stream. I can't even pronounce that one. Sonnenshine 1978 says, hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Glad you could jump in. Virgil Allen is on. James the Reviver. I think he is driving, so although he is a moderator, I don't think he's going to be able to moderate today. Although we haven't really needed it much lately, so I think we'll be okay. Let's see, just conversations going on. Seeing who else has jumped on. NML, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much. MFA says, hi all. It's my 1-year anniversary today. Well, happy anniversary to you on that. Measure Twice. Hello from Durango, Colorado on vacation, but normally from Houston. That sounds awesome. Well, welcome, Measure Twice. Glad you could jump on and hang out with us while you're on vacation. That's pretty cool. Lyle is on. Lyle Lloyd is on. And Cindy T. What else we got? Oh, Debbie is here, so we do have a mod that's actually sitting here, so helped keep us safe. Lazy Taco says, good morning, guys and gals. Hope everyone is doing well. And Miles Mommy 2010 says, can I rudely ask for everyone's prayers today? I have a MRI next week to see if I have MS. That sounds incredibly stressful. So absolutely, guys, everyone give her some encouragement and prayers, and hopefully you get good news next week. Miles Mommy 2010. That does not sound like a fun week, and waiting for information is not good. All right, let me get back over here. So I'm going to jump into today's topic because I don't know why I said because, but it's come up a lot lately. I had some conversations with people locally, and there's been comments on videos and such about this particular thing. And it's really weird because I think there's multiple level of categories that people fall into for this unhelpful friend topic and category. And the first one, well, and we'll start with the best and then we'll progress to the worst. The first type are the folks that are legitimately wanting the best for you. They love and care about you. They want you to get your life back. They see you in turmoil, and they are doing everything that they can to try to encourage you to let it go, to get over it, and all those different things. And they might be saying stuff like that. And typically what will happen is hold on, let me turn off my notifications because now my computer's beeping and making noises. They typically, in good faith, will be saying stuff like that. They'll be saying, God, you got to let it go. They were really bad. You're lucky to be without them. You're lucky to have gotten away. But they don't understand what you've gone through. They don't understand narcissistic abuse. So they don't have any context of it. They may have had a breakup before. Maybe not. Maybe they have. And they don't understand how you're stuck or how we're stuck. And those friends will say things that actually make it worse because they don't understand. We don't understand until you find some channels like this and some other information that help you really, understand what's going on. But they don't. So they're trying to be helpful, and they might even at some point kind of turn more aggressive, like do that tough love thing to try to push you to, break that spell. Now that's the first type, right? That's the best type. And hopefully if you have that type, if you're dealing with that type of person, once you understand NPD, you can have a conversation with them to try to explain it. The hard part is whenever you don't know what you're dealing with and they don't know what you're dealing with, and you're just being re-traumatized by everyone. So then this rolls into the next category of the person that's really not helpful, They're not empathetic. They really don't care. And it could be that even you're annoying them with drawing so much attention from them. Basically, they are also a narcissistic personality type, a toxic personality type. In that situation, they will do a lot of different things. Like the example that I had recently was a friend local, who had a bad relationship, and then one of their friends is a younger gentleman who decided it would be a good idea to try to date their toxic ex. So completely violated the trust, took all the information that the one person had shared about the person and used it against them, right, for their own personal gain. Now, obviously, that is the worst type of friend, period, and that's not exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is whenever this person... Now, when they were talking to me, I'm like, hey, that is a toxic person. A friend doesn't do that. And you need to phase that person out of your life. They don't deserve to be in your life. Another person who is a trusted ally, or so they thought of this person, gave them completely different advice. And that advice was, big deal. Who cares? They can date whoever they want. Why is it a big problem with you? You should still be friends with everybody. It's like, oh dear God. I was like, seriously? You know, at the end of the day, you have to do what's right for you. And it's just tough whenever you're not sure. And unhelpful friends are giving you advice that really is not helpful. So I get that in the beginning of this, you're really, really second guessing your own decisions and your own opinions because you just went through something that we didn't detect, right? I know I did. I know right after my, when my divorce was starting, the mask had dropped. I'm dealing with the narcissistic rage and all that stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? I got into this mess. How can I even trust myself? I was also in the part of it where I was beating myself up, which was video from the other day. But the thing is that you get to where you don't trust yourself. So you're looking for other people to help you validate what your reality is. And when those people are giving you really bad advice, like I was just mentioning, or worse, if they're telling you, well, why don't you just go back? It'd just be easier to go back. I've heard people were told that as well. You just have to, unfortunately, you have to gauge with your intuition. So I'm not saying you need to lash out at anybody, but if somebody is not really there for you, you need to recognize that, take it with a grain of salt, whatever, and, put it in the appropriate bin, so to speak. So if you have a pile of friends that are really not helpful, slowly give yourself some space from them. The other thing before I get off this topic that I want to mention that everyone needs to remember, and maybe this will be a good reminder of this, is that you typically, when you've been in these toxic relationships, more than likely you were raised that this is okay, and more than likely you have surrounded yourself with very toxic people. And it's like a reinforcement, reinforces that reality. So be cautious. Now, when you see people and it's like, this isn't quite right, look at it and believe it. And when you start thinking, oh my God, something must be wrong with me because everybody is a toxic, narcissistic, self-absorbed, butthead, it's only because we surrounded ourselves with it. So it's going to take time to heal from the relationship. It's going to take time to heal us, and it's going to take time to start getting our environment peaceful and calm, and then stepping into a direction to where you start bringing better quality people in your life. So let me see what's going on in the chat. Sorry guys, I'm a little allergy-ish today. And Oh, there. I'm like, hey, someone had a question. Oh, that was me. That's hilarious. So let's see what you guys got going on. Oh, I got Vova is from Romania. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Welcome. Um, let's see. I'm just trying to let me actually. I'll punch. Oh, maybe I won't. Keating says, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." I meant killed on any level. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's see. Just so you guys know, YouTube automatically holds messages that have profanity or anything in it. So, if be careful what you say because it will block it and not let it go through. Not that it's that bad, but I think I'll go ahead and show this one. But that will pause messages. Okay, let's see. Looking to see, try to figure out what is going on this. Son and Chine says, I had to quit friendships with my two best friends. Yeah, that's really something that happens often is you start to realize that, oh my God, I have been surrounding myself with people who just are not good for me. I remember, I forgot it. Well, I remember somebody telling me that was going to happen, that people were going to be phased out of my life that weren't quality people. All right, let me see. I see Xanax said question, but I don't see a question, so I'm not entirely sure what that was. And I don't see me tagged anywhere above. So I don't know if I missed that or not. Let's see. I'm trying to see what's going on here. Oh, God, I am so bad with names today. Sonnet Shine says they didn't believe me. I'm assuming you're saying you were trying to tell them what was going on. Well, here's the other thing, guys. If you start recognizing toxic behavior and you start talking to people about it and they fit that category, it's not going to go really well, right? You know, their little senses are going to go up and it's like, oh, crap, you know, we're going to be detected, you know, reverse course or whatever. They'll do something to try to maintain that same type of control and relationship in the relationship that they had. And that's even with friends. I mean, I would imagine with Sonachine that they, if those were toxic people, that the friendship was very one-sided, and you're probably emotionally taken advantage of quite a bit. Hey, Rescued by Mary's on. Hey, welcome. Glad you could jump on. Al says your friends look at you like a dark cloud over your head is following you around. Man, see, that's the other part about this. Sometimes we push friends away because they just can't handle the stress. It's not so much that they're toxic, but that they know that you're in such turmoil and you can't get out of it, and it's just a drain. You know, I mean, it's really tough. I mean, I was fortunate that I had a couple of friends who, even with that, stuck by me. And they didn't finally just say, hey, dude, you know, I mean, they would answer the phone when I called, and we can meet for coffee or whatever when needed be, or go on a little boondoggle or something. But, you know, there were a few who were like, you know, oh dear God, there comes Duane, you know, let's go this way type thing. All right, let's see. Man, you guys are quiet today. We got a lot of people. We got a decent number of people, but everything's quiet. So what, let me punch Debbie in. Can you hear me? Or are you there? Oh, wow, that's funny. That was perfect timing. Let me, you guys can hear the hacking in the background, but all right, now let me punch your mic in. All right. Ooh. There you go. Now I can hear you.
How is everyone doing on this lovely Saturday?
I think it's okay. So what did you think about what's your take on friends and unhelpful friends? Because you've had your own experience with that.
Yeah, well, especially if they don't understand what's going on. But but here's the other side of it. So, let's say your friends, if you're lucky enough, do understand what's going on. You could end up in a what that term you use, do loop, where
Oh, the
you're
infinite do loop.
ruminating
Yeah.
about these negative things over and over again until
Yeah.
it's like you're walking around with a cloud. Does anyone here on the channel here stream remember watching the Peanuts cartoons, and Pigpen would have a cloud of
Yeah.
scribbles above his head? So that just popped into my head as an idea, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about when you have these. Just exchange that visual for, instead of representing dirt, representing like negative thoughts and negative ideas that you're ruminating about, and you carry it with you everywhere. That could be a downside. So if your friends don't understand, then of course it's a cloud too, because you feel alone. But then if they do understand, and it's like, if the conversation is just ruminating about negativity, I don't know how much better you're gonna feel. One of the things that I think a lot of you here appreciate about this channel with what Dwayne's trying to do is that he that's not his goal to have you just all ramped up and talking about
Oh, yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
his goal here. So yes, we want validation. Yes, we want to be able to say, yeah, we get this, we get you, and we're here for you and all that. But the other side of it is that we want you to get to a point where you feel better, even if that means you're not on the channel anymore. So if this channel was only about getting views and getting subscribers,
Yeah.
right? Then if Dwayne wanted to, he could take the low road and just go negative, get attention.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
the victim,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
I'll let you
absolutely. No,
piggyback
and
on
the other
that.
thing I'll say on that is, I mean, I know we talked about that in the past. I mean, validation is super important, right? Validating what you went through and that you were a target, and for a while saying victim as opposed to survivor is fine, because at some point, you need to rebaseline your life and start over, right? And be able to see things clearly and accurately. However, staying in that mode, staying in that I'm a victim mode, and they did this and they did that, is counterproductive, because it keeps you stuck to them. I mean, I could basically, what I was just talking about in the beginning of this video, even with me, that's exactly what was happening. I mean, I was in that infinite do loop where I could not get out of it. And I was constantly ruminating about the ex, and what happened and how it happened and why it happened, and her part in it and my part in it. And it didn't help me heal. It kept me stuck, feeling like crap, and it's counterproductive. And I know that there's a lot of I mean, I don't want to bash on channels because they all have their place, but but there are some that are really tough for me to even watch. Not that I get the chance to really watch a lot of them anymore, because it's just like, oh God, I mean, I don't want to. It's like I see that, and I know that it's just holding people where they are. So let me see what else we got going on in the comments. I see I've been tagged a couple of times. Divorce Papa says, I was fortunate in the beginning. I had a friend going through the same thing with her husband. She broke it off. So I realized I wasn't alone. Then very fortunate to have found DSD. Well, good. I'm glad I was able to help. And it is, man. If we have somebody who's actually there in our corner, it is such a it's a gift. I mean, it really helps. All right, let me see what else we got going on. Xanax says, Dwayne, unfortunately, this feature isn't yet available in your region. Do you have PayPal? Oh, not that this is about money, but yeah. Let me see if. I forgot to check and see if my site was gonna. No, my site's still crashing. Yeah, I do. God, I gotta fix that. So if you go to my website, which is busted right now, I wonder, because it runs to a live counter. So the live counter somehow on my website got broke. But yeah, there's a PayPal link on that. So if you want to support the channel that way and be more anonymous, then or if you can't do the other thing, then I would have really appreciated it. Thank you very much. Helps keeps the lights on and pays the internet bill and all that kind of stuff. And I wish, man, I have to fix my website. I didn't realize my website was broke.
Xanax has something.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Wait a minute. Yeah, you're punching. What'd you say?
Xanax has
I know.
says, I have to admit, I've been victim mode for 4 months. That's something that we touched on for a second, and I'm not trying to put any guilt on anyone who's feeling that, because that's just part of the phases we go through.
Yeah.
This is not a judgment at all. Of course, you're going to have a period of time where you're kind of wallowing in it, and part of it is that you're trying to wrap your head around it, right, Duane? I mean, it's
Yeah, and
part of the process.
and I'm like what I just said though. I mean, I was in that mode for 2.5 years. I mean, there is no judgment on this. My goal with this channel is, like with Xanax, if we could help him roll that into where that 4 months, maybe another month or two, and you're done. That's the goal. I don't want you guys stuck going through this infinite do loop, just going back around in circles and circles and circles, because it just doesn't help. I mean, and ultimately what I had, God dang it, I wish my website wasn't busted. This is like really, I don't even know how to fix this right now. Because when you go to my website, it just automatically rolls to another website. And I'm not going to try to edit it on here. But you know what? Let me try. Let me see if I can pull it up over here. No, not admin. I don't want to go on the back end. Not right now anyways. Let's see here. I want to see if I can, if it'll work. No. Oh, good. Redirection blocked. Okay, so it didn't redirect on this. All right. What I'm going to say is, let me do this. Oh, that didn't do anything. There we go. Let's shrink this down a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay, so when I was stuck in that mode, okay, sorry about that. So getting back into that mode. When I was stuck in that infinite do loop, and I mean, I was going to therapy. I was not making progress. What I ended up trying, and this was from a recommendation from a friend who's like, dude, you got to try something different. And I'd read some of these books and stuff, but what really helped me was this hypnosis download stuff. And that, coupled with absolute thinking, with therapy, and basically going over unrequited, this relationship pack of hypnosis files, I listen to them daily. I listen to them in the morning. I listen to them at lunch, in my car, not while driving, in the office, at home. I just was drilling that stuff into my head because one, you have a broken heart, right? So it talks about that, letting it go, all these different things. It helped me to reframe that crap in my mind, and it helped break that cycle. I don't know. I even was considering trying EMDR. Excuse me, that didn't really work for me. It was too much. And but yeah, that was very helpful for me. And maybe it might be, if you're stuck, it might be helpful for you. So let me get back over here and try to reset this. Okay, so I know I missed some comments on that. Let me see here. Okay. Let's see. Lazy Taco says, "Hey Duane, I sent you an interesting thing that happened this morning to me with my daughter on Discord in the live talk. If this happened to me still back then, it would have broken me." Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, well, and I can't really see it now, so I will look at that after. Mama 33 says, "Great topic. Recently felt very betrayed by a close friend. She knows all the manipulation and pain I've experienced, yet reached out and grabbed my ex's arm and gave him a squeeze, validating him." Oof. Yeah, sorry you went through that. Guys, here's the other thing, and this is something that I did hit in, I think, last Wednesday's video. And it was talking more about court, but we have a tendency to think that everyone, as long as they're looking at us and nodding, that they're in our corner, that they believe everything we're saying, and that they're on our side. That is not necessarily the case. And just because we think that we understand our situation and our experience That does not mean that somebody else is going to completely believe what we're saying and not interact with the ex. Did you have something, Debbie? Oh, okay. Anyways, she was moving the mic around, so I wasn't sure. Anyways, so yeah, and it's really tough, right? I mean, because so you're dealing, and the problem with that, I mean, to state the obvious, is you're dealing with the betrayal and the trauma from your ex. And then you're trying to route, because you're already like shell shocked. You know, you're already like, oh my God, this is weird. So you start rallying around people who you think are your friends. And then when they violate your trust, then it really starts to break you and starts to really undermine your view on what you think is real and who you can trust and what can you trust anybody. Is everybody out to get you, right? Then it makes you start feeling paranoid, and there's all kinds of problems with that. Thing I would just like to mention though is if you are feeling that, be careful when you say that, because you don't want to necessarily go to a therapist and like everyone's out to get me, because they'll start going down a path thinking that is something else. Now, if you think that everyone's out to get you and you really are super paranoid about it, then obviously say it. But I think some of the people who understand what I mean will understand what I'm saying. And I'll just to linger on that for a moment. One thing I will say that's really tough with all this is that we can get into a mode to where we say things and we don't really understand what we're saying, and it could blow up in our face. And that can be something as not benign, but let's say you get really angry at your ex and you make a comment and you say something that could be construed as threatening. If they want to, they can turn around and use that against you. There are also, I mean, for instance, also let's say if you're really depressed and you're talking about self-harm and you're not necessarily meaning it, but you are just trying to release the frustration and anger, somebody could also turn around and say, and press the button that you are serious. We're at work, every year we have to go through training and stuff for that. And one of the things is like, okay, do you have a plan? Do you have this? There's some questions you ask. But if somebody is trying to bait and trick you, if you say something like that, and they can use it against you. That's all I'm just trying to say. I don't know if I'm really wording that very well, but that's one thing I do want to mention. Let me see where we are with the rest of the comments. I think it scrolled up, so I missed some of it. Okay, I see some people have tagged me, so I read that one. RP says, Duane, is there anything I can do about the trail of destruction my ex leaves, the negative things he's done to people I know? For the most part, RP, no. You kind of have to hunker down, protect yourself, and kind of let them burn themselves out. Now, you may have mentioned in more detail of what specifically you're talking about, but I would say, unless it's criminal, right? Unless your ex is doing, in this trail of destruction is criminality, then you have some other options. But if it's just, I mean, it ain't just anything, but if it's focused on just, smear campaigns and stuff like that, then none of us really have a lot we can do. If you want to add in a little bit more what you mean by this trail of destruction, then I could maybe tailor that a little bit more. Henry had said, Duane went to mediation. I just went to settle, had a great mediator, but so hurt over all the stuff. Missing my overnights with my son, just standing still until the hearing. Keep strong in faith. Yeah, just, they are going to try to break us. They will do everything in their power to make this as complicated and difficult as possible. And to be honest, sometimes we just say, okay, I'm done fighting and I'll take whatever I get. I would highly encourage people not to do that, but I understand. And if that's the right decision for you at the time, then you have to do what's right for you. But you need to do it with an open mind and an understanding of what it all means. I mean, sometimes you can't go anymore. I mean, I get it. I mean, I pretty much, part of my stuff stopped because I ran out of money. And I didn't know Alex Falcone at the time. And, I mean, as a result of that, what do you do, right? You get the best dang thing that you can get. And I did okay. I mean, I did pretty good. I mean, there are some things, if I knew now what I knew then what I knew now, I think I said that backwards. I would have, I mean, there are things I would have done. I would have absolutely done differently. Well, I mean, and even with what I was talking about a minute ago with how you word things, I would have definitely worded things and communicated things differently because I know in retrospect what I was saying could easily be misconstrued that I was just angry and disgruntled, bitter ex, and not getting over it and upset that it was really weird because, I left, but the way it was being spun was kind of like that she left and that I was not getting over her having her own life and stuff like that. And, her standing up for herself. It was pretty funny when that happened because I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I mean, it's like what's happening is that I'm standing up for myself and now you're spinning it that I'm mad because, she's standing up for herself. I was like, no, I mean, I did let her do everything in the world before and now I'm saying no. And now that I'm saying no, now I'm the butthead. It was just weird. That was hard. That was a rough one because it just messes with your mind. It really screws with you. All right. So Henry, okay, I already read that one. So yeah, keep the faith, Henry. And hopefully, I mean, if you're getting closer, I mean, hopefully you'll be able to get that finally done. Guys, the main thing on this is it's a long-term process. We want to think that we'll go to court or mediation and everything will just get fixed and it'll go back to normal and it'll stop. Unfortunately, that's not the way the legal system is designed. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. And as a result, it's really complicated. So, I'm just thinking about something for a second. I need to check something. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Okay. I thought maybe I didn't have the other microphone actually going through the system, but I think it is. Anyways, I digress. All right, let me look to see what else we have. Lloyd says part of their strategy is they make their story sound good, even though they lie. Perception of truth turns out to be the truth. Oh my God, that is very true. That's one thing I just, and just to add on this, and I know this isn't exactly what he's talking about. This is why, in my opinion, and this will fly in the face of probably all the professional people you will ever talk to, that says you should never say anything to your children, keep them out of it. When you're being slandered, you don't necessarily want to go through and say, your dad's a liar. You don't want to do that. But you want to do little things to counter that perception. And I know that like in my situation, when I was a child, my mom was just crushing my dad. And my dad would not say anything until much later about my mom. In a child's mind, then it feels like mom's right. And dad's just this person. Now it's a two-part thing, okay? Part of the problem was in that situation is my dad had a specific way he generally acted and responded. My mom was able to leverage off that and say, "Oh, your dad's such an angry, violent, person, and short temper," which he did have a short temper. And then when we would go over there and we would do little kid things, and he would explode because of his short temper. In a little kid's mind, that validates what's going on. So one, you have to, if you have issues like that, you have to work on them. And if you do have problems, you need to communicate with your kids. So after you explode, you need to sit down with them and say, hey, I shouldn't have done that. You have to acknowledge that and validate the experience. The second part is not doing it, right? So start getting to the point to where you change. I mean, and that's kind of the way I was, right? I mean, I was the authoritarian. I was the disciplinarian. I was the person who was, don't, wait till your dad gets home type. I had to undo that. And when I decided to stop being that person, the kids still were conditioned from years before that was the reality. So I had to maintain with my actions that it was different. And then the second part of this is undo the story that, you don't directly go at what the ex is doing. You just focus on that you care about the kids, that you love them, that you're there for them, and do it with your words and your actions. So, I mean, and I just say that because if we just don't do anything and don't say anything, and there's a vacuum of information, it does create some problems. I know that goes a little contrary to what I normally say about, ignoring the smear campaign. And for the most part, I completely agree with that, although you could use some of the same techniques with it. It's just not worth it because if you this goes the same thing with what I was talking about with your kids. If you go in and you start trying to defend yourself in that crazy manner, it's going to undermine your credibility with them as well. And it took me about 1.5 years to undo that. So, and then honestly, like with my son, what really screwed with his head is everything's shifted, right? So what he thought about me is the reality with his mom, and what he thought about his mom is the reality with me, right? I mean, and he's getting better with that, but it really screwed with him at first because it screwed with his worldview, right? I mean, he thought, no, mommy is the nurturing one. Mommy is the one who really cares. Yeah, I love my dad, but he's bad. And now it's turned around to where he's like, oh, wow, that's not really the way it was. And it's still, I mean, even at 20, it's still hard for him to deal with that, or to deal with that reality. I'm like having issues with this. What am I doing wrong? Maybe I need to do that. There we go. There we go. Sorry, this is probably making all kinds of noise. Sorry about that. Anyways, let me scroll down to see if RP had actually said anything else, his RP had said he has texted my friend, stalked and harassed a guy I was dating, but nothing overly criminal. Yeah, that one's tough, right? I mean, if the stalking and harassing, that is criminal. You can get restraining orders for that. That's about probably the only thing you're going to be able to do on that. And you're just going to have to decide whether it's worth it to press that button or not. I mean, sometimes it makes it worse, and sometimes it makes them calm down. Have you thought about doing like? Well, let me back up. Is he still stalking and harassing your friends and you were dating? So that's past tense. So whoever you're seeing. So, and let me look and see what else is going on while I'm waiting for that. Xanax says, Duane, I heard California's the worst place to get divorced. Actually, I think Canada's pretty bad, and Nevada has some pretty messed up laws too. So there's, every place has its good points and its bad points. I was talking to an individual the other day on Discord who like married over, I think, 12 years. And I'm thinking, oh, long-term marriage. And he's in New York. And he said, no, long-term marriages are 15 years. So he's only going to owe like, a year and a half or something like that of alimony, which seems low to me. But hey, if that's the law, that's awesome. But the bad thing he said is that, well, in his area, child support goes till 21. I need to make a comment on that because that may not be, you may agree to that. And that may be just like one of those things, well, we just agree to it. I would not encourage anyone. I mean, turn that crap off as soon as you can. I mean, if you want to pay and help the kids through college, do it on, do it with you sending the check, not sending the check and it getting filtered through someone else. But anyways, my point is that, some of the, like from New York to California, some things are better for him. Some things are better for me, depending on the thing. But I would say this. I mean, I got 50-50. California is turning more into a 50-50 state, which I blew my mind. And the fact that California recently changed the child support thing to where go get basically it's like you better get a job, even to the person who has, or the custodial parent. That's amazing, right? I mean, because in the past it was like, no, the ex could not work forever and you're just going to pay. So it's kind of cool that they're starting to do that, which is bizarre. I mean, I'm not sure why, you wouldn't expect California to be doing that, at least not me. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. I'm going to look mainly for the people who have tagged me, and I'm trying to just skim over what other people are saying. So, Xanax says, hey, Duane, you look a lot better than in your original videos. Yeah, it's okay. Part of that is, this part's kind of a little frustrating because I know those are, even I remember having a conversation with David way back when from David DeMars. He used to run, or used to be called CNXG. And every once in a while we would get that. It's like, oh, it's going to be okay. And we're like, we're actually doing pretty good. But here's the thing. I was I was very uncomfortable in front of a camera, which I've gotten much better with. The second part about it was I didn't really know what I was doing on making videos. So that was also complicated. And I was doing it at really weird times. Like there were times where I was making videos at like 1 a.m. because that was the only time I could do it. So it was, I was under a little bit of stress. So it's weird because I think it actually works because it makes me look more stressed than I really was back then. And now I'm just, I'm more comfortable with all this stuff. And I am. And to be honest, I am much better today than I was when I started the channel. But I wasn't necessarily bad when I was at the channel. I was still pretty happy with where my life was then. I just didn't realize it was going to continue to get better, which is really awesome. All right, let me scroll. Oh, hold on.
There's some stuff going on in the chat.
Oh, what?
Oh, so I hope I don't miss anything, but what it is that there was it was about getting over something. Let's see.
Who said it?
Lyle Lloyd. So let's see. Where does this start? So it was about how he would like to know what was being said about him, what's being said to his daughter. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
And then some of the people in the comments are saying, well, getting over it is, good thing, to tell people to get over it because it doesn't matter what they think. But then really saying just get over it is not helpful to someone who's in deep pain. And then
No, it's not.
So there's comments going back and forth, and then I find myself typing on there, oh my goodness, if there's a misunderstanding, I'm sorry. And so I'm hoping we can clear this up, that this channel does not we don't.
Well, who said what? I mean, I'm trying to find it.
We don't advocate.
Well, okay, so here, all right. So what I will say on that, I mean, just from what Debbie just said, saying just get over it to anyone is not a good thing. Now, yes, I have said in the past that we need to get to that point, but you can't just say that to someone like that because it's out of context. Your life has been destroyed. Your relationship with your children has been affected no matter how this plays out. Even if you are able to repair it, it's still different. Your life after this is different. So to tell someone just to get over it, in my opinion, is counterproductive. It's not. I could see saying, you're going to have to learn to let a lot of that go and get over it to be able to get your life back, right? Okay, that makes sense. But just saying to someone, get over it, it's counterproductive. I don't agree with that. And I'm not sure what, let me see if I can find part of where this is. So is there an argument going on with this?
It sounded like there might be a little bit of a misunderstanding, perhaps.
All right, let me see what I can find. Let's see if I can scroll down to the bottom.
I mean, I don't think it was on purpose. I don't think anyone's trying to cause any issue when it comes to that topic.
All right, so I'm scrolling backwards. Were there comments deleted or something?
Yeah, there was a few things on there that James and I were noticing that, just the language was a little bit.
Oh, okay. When I see, so Lyle said what Divorce Papa has said is, I will never get over it. I haven't seen my daughter in 3.5 years. I should get over that. No. I will never get over that. Yeah, here's the thing. See, guys, Lyle has made a tremendous amount of progress with what he's been through and where he's at today. It's weird how you say it, right? Because I see what he's saying. Am I ever going to get over what the ex has done to my future, my retirement, my relationship with the kids, the future for the kids? There's a way I could say no, right? But at the same time, I've let it go because I know it's not going to help me, right? And that's kind of where I think Lyle's at. I mean, from the conversations I'd had with him before, it's, but it's hard, right? I mean, it's like talking about forgiving somebody. And forgiving doesn't necessarily mean, well, I'm going to, I could say, okay, well, I forgive my ex for everything that's happened. And in some ways that's true. But does that mean that I'm going to say, okay, I've hit the reset, the past is gone, I've erased it, so if I run into her today, it's going to be like nothing ever happened? Hell no. Am I letting it go with what in my situation, what the ex has done? Yes. But am I going to go sit around and hang out with her and, oh, hey, let's go have a coffee? Nope. I want nothing to do with her. She has had a profound impact on my life. Is it destroying my life anymore? No, it's not. I've been able to, and I think even if I wasn't doing this channel, I would be done with wasting my time with her. So Wait, what is okay, guys, what the hell? I mean, it's like, it looks like everything is going down the tubes here. So let me see what's going on. What? Who said? Who called? Somebody called somebody a loser. What is going on here? Are you watching this?
I'm having trouble following some of this. I think I must have missed something.
Okay, so I don't know. Oh, see, some James is actually blocking some stuff. So I am going to just, yeah, I'm going to just boot this person out. If I can figure out how to boot this person out. What the fuck?
Duane.
Well, I'm trying to grab this person to do it, and the things aren't working right.
Sorry.
All right, boom. Okay. All right. Holy hell. All right, let's get back into things. Sorry about that. Looks like maybe we did have a little bit of a troll. So I have hidden said troll. Yeah, Lyle, I wouldn't, I mean, Lyle's been around a long time. You know who the normal people are and people who are just trying to create drama. And I wasn't seeing a lot of it because James, who's moderating, let me see if he's texted me, but I think he's driving, so he probably pulled over to start trying to do some of this stuff. So let's see. Cindy says, Lyle, please don't pay attention to any disrespectful comments. We are here to support you. Yeah, Lyle, you are a buddy of ours.
Why was that one hidden?
Who? Oh,
One
I
that you
did it
just read.
automatically.
Oh.
So it's the system. There'll be ones that are hidden by people where you can see that. Talking about the back end, guys. And then YouTube, when it thinks something isn't right, will hide it. So.
Oh my.
All right. Are we back on track? Are we good?
I hope so, but I really want to check in with Lyle. If you could hear me, Lyle, are you doing okay? If you
Lyle,
want
I'll call you when this is over.
Yeah, when
I
this
have
is
his
over,
number.
Duane can maybe check in with you because we want to check in on you. Please hang in there.
Actually, not today.
Okay.
I'm sorry, buddy. Hey, is it just because of this live stream, or were you having a rough time before that? And what do you think about chatting about the topic we were talking about the other day on the rest of this live stream? If you're up for that, or we can do it later. Because for you guys who don't know, Lyle and I were chatting the other day. See, he has a career in broadcast television. And we were talking about some interesting ideas and some things that we might be able to pull together to tell people stories and get some information out there. If he wants to chat about that today, we will. Otherwise, we will put that off for another time. All right. Man, well, sorry about that. That's why it's good that we have moderators. I see James chimed in. So, James, thank you very much for detecting what was going on because I missed that and knocking some of that stuff out. It makes it hard whenever I can't see what's going on, but it's good to get it off as well. Let's see. RP says, Duane, boyfriend is afraid he will be accused of abusing the kids when he meets them because ex falsely accused me. I want to protect him. Then I wouldn't introduce the kids to him. I mean, if you're dealing with that type of crap, then, and that is very typical, then keep the kids out of it as much as possible. That's not a great answer, but you have to be cautious. You were having a good day. Well, hey, Lyle, what I would say is it looks like we just had a bad actor, or maybe two. I banned the one, So we should not be hearing from them anymore. So sorry about that, but you know, buddy, I think a lot of us know what you've been through, are going through, right? So put it off. Okay, copy that. Do you still want me to call you after? I can do that. Just let me know. We're going to wrap this up soon anyways, because I think we've already gone for about an hour. What, is it an hour? Yeah, about an hour. So let me double check and see what else is going on with everything. Uh, I see up above, John Boston has said, Duane, I told my narc pumpkin, it's not a lie if you believe it. Dear God. I don't know if you caught that last week. We were talking about that, and people are wanting pumpkin shirts now because I was talking about something.
Pumpkin, you do.
Yeah, to the X sometimes. Miles Mommy 2010 says, Dwayne, I only discovered my father was a covert narc after starting the divorce with my malignant narc. It's so clear now that how that early relationship set me up for who I married. Guys, that is so typical. I mean, it's not always, right? There are people who can still be duped who've had a really great family and whatever. But if we have had a toxic upbringing, a toxic family of origin, we are primed to do this. This is why it's so important for us to have success with our kids, to break that cycle. Because if we don't, if we aren't able to be stable and we're not able to get them the information they need to heal from this, the likelihood that they are going to replicate the marriage of their parents in their own is incredibly high. That's why a lot of people, not everybody, but that's why a lot of people will be like, oh my God, I married my dad, or I married my mom. You know, I mean, I married that same personality type. And partly that's because you want to reconcile with what happened. You want to fix it. You want to, you know, have the person, you know, have that surrogate for that parental figure validate you and love you and be there for you. But the problem is when we pick a crappy person, they're going to do the exact same thing, if not worse. All right, let me scroll down to the bottom. So I have over 10 years. Youngest is 18. Until the youngest is 18, okay. Okay, RP was talking about the... Yeah, you know, here's the thing, right? I mean, you're talking about a boyfriend. So I would try to keep, especially depending on how toxic your ex is. Here's the thing. I keep saying here's the thing. The goal on this, in my mind, is to save our kids, right? I mean, that's the reason why, in Debbie and I's situation, well, I mean, amongst other things, but why we haven't lived together, why we do things together, but there's like a separation because I'm trying to keep things as stable for the kids as possible to try to help them get through this, right? You know, I mean, I know you still have to have a life, you still have to do things, but it's like that was my priority. And, you know, I mean, and it's just, that would be my take on it, RP, is keep boyfriends out of the picture. And if it turns into something really serious and you're like, okay, well, this is going to be a serious relationship and maybe we're going to do something, you know, then introduce them to your kids. I would wait until they're a little bit younger, a little bit older, so the likelihood of being manipulated for false allegations is a lot less, would be helpful. Because if you're dealing with somebody who's making those false allegations, there's a strong potential that they're going to continue to do that. And there are people on the channel who they've said that. They're like, oh my God, I got with my boyfriend and now his crazy ex is turned us into CPS saying the girlfriend is abusing the kids. You know, I mean, yes, that stuff really does happen. So be smart about what you do and be cautious of how you interact with it. So, all right. Okay. Most of these people are good. Oh, the Underground Metal Gamer. Welcome, the Underground Metal Gamer. Welcome to the channel. Says, my ex ripped out my heart too, Lyle Lloyd. Narcs are horrible people. They are evil. and what they do, and their levels of evil just adjust from there. So, all right. All righty. Yeah, Lyle says this is iron. There is an irony about the topic subject. Yeah, exactly. That was very unfortunate. We haven't had that type of incident for a while, so I'm a little bummed. I'm grateful that one of the mods was on or was lower down in the live chat part of it to catch it. So thank you, James, on that. So that's probably why you couldn't catch it, Debbie, is because he was actively combating it.
Well, what happens is whenever I take a pause to work on my own typing, I'm missing like this whole thing going on.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that one. Actually, say something for a minute.
Oh, everything okay with the...
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure your little
Sound?
lights were bouncing, as opposed to maybe I'm the only person that could hear you. That was what I was trying to check earlier.
No, but man, I don't know if Lyle is still on, but oh my gosh, I just wish we could end it with more of a uplift for you. So
I'll tell you what, how about this, if Lyle's still on, or even if he's not, guys, I see that Mama gave Lyle a heart. Tag Lyle and give him thumbs ups and hearts, because he is a good dude. He's been involved with this channel for, oh my God, maybe a year or two now. He's a really good guy. He's been through the ringer, like a lot of us, but his nightmare is a little different in that he completely was alienated from his child, completely. So I know some of us are close to that. Not me. I mean, I've been good on that, but there are other people on the channel who are in that boat, right? They don't ever get to see their kids, and when they do see their kids, their kids just stick a finger right in their eye. All right, I see Divorce Papa giving Lyle a thumbs up. Debbie's giving him a thumbs up and a heart. Mama 33 did. So I'm going to, if I can get over here. So, yeah, Lyle, you got a lot of love here, man. You're good peeps. Sorry that you had somebody who was doing that tonight, and I'm sorry I missed it. That is the concern or the fear on this a lot of times is missing what's going on. So you know what, Lyle? Probably not. It's probably just somebody who's being a butthead, right? I mean, think about this, guys. Okay, I know my channel. Okay, as my channel keeps getting bigger, the likelihood that other trolls or narcissistic personality types are going to come in. And what a better way for a troll than to come in, find somebody who's having a hard time, and then just be a butt to them. That's why moderators are so damn important, and why I may need to have to get some more just to make sure, because as this picks up, it could completely derail. I mean, we derailed this. I mean, this was something that one person, I think, basically completely derailed this discussion just because they could. And they could turn around and come back in as a different person. Remember, we've had that with the dragon guy, Dino, whatever. Oh my God, that was a mess. I think I had to block like 5 or 6 Dino people. What?
Oh, we got our thumbs down after all this drama. So we finally got somebody who put their... We have the same few people that have to put their little
Obligatory.
Obligatory, that's the name of it.
Yeah, I was talking to Debbie about this before, and it's like, so I do, like, most of my videos get like no thumbs downs. Now that I'm talking about it, this one will get more, because that's typical anytime this conversation actually comes up. But sometimes I wonder, it's like, is it the same two? It's basically 2 people, sometimes 3. Or is it individual? It's like, is it a mistake? Is it intentional? And if it's an intentional, is it the same person that just like, oh, he posted a video, let's go thumb down it? I don't know. So anyways, I digress. But all right, guys. So we ran a little bit long. Lyle said, I mean, can you blame any of us for being sensitive? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, I was super sensitive on this. Oh man, I used to get, oh my God. Debbie could tell stories of the triggers that I used to get. I mean, geez, it's really weird, but even some of the stuff that the kids do now that just kind of like rolls off my back. Oh my God, it would set me off. So, what was it the other day? There's something that It didn't totally irritate me, but we came back from town. My daughter needed something from her mom's. We went over there. When I'm like, okay, you just can't stay in there forever. She skips into the house, comes back out crying. I'm like, oh crap, what happened? So later I asked her, I'm like, hey, what was that about? Nothing. I'm not going to talk about it. That typical BS. And I'm like, no, seriously, what, that was weird. And then it was like, my brother's bullying me. And I'm like, are you in my mind, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I knew, so I know what happened. She wasn't getting the attention. She did something. Her brother, kind of lashed out at her, rightfully so. And because I didn't, validate what had happened, because they're all just mean to each other, it's really kind of annoying to watch sometimes. And, whoops, my phone's ringing. And so I mean, so I know what happened. She walked into her mom's house, started bawling the second she came in, to get that attention, and, oh, what's wrong? Daddy won't do anything, that type of thing. And I'm telling you, this used to set me off. And I just, I kind of like I laughed and shut the door. And I'm just like, I'm not even getting, I'm not playing this game anymore. But that type of stuff, yeah, I mean, it used to just really get to me. I don't know why I went off on that. I don't even think that was really on topic. So on that, guys.
Okay, hold on.
What did I miss?
Brett Forsyth just jumped on and said, how is your demeanor in court, and how best is it to handle in an adverse court? And since we're ending this right now, but you have videos on this, can you please let Brett know?
And I couldn't pull them up.
Well, I mean, maybe just the titles. Do you know any of the or maybe that he could do a search on.
I think when the number of videos broke 500, it became nearly impossible for me to find any of them.
I'm just wondering if you were to do a search on just.
You know what, Brett? What I'll do is I'll try to make a video specifically about that over this weekend and release it next week. And what I may do is I could set it as unlisted and just share the link to you. But what I would say. The thing is you want to go in professional. You want to be calm and seem calm. You don't want to go in there glaring at your ex and staring at her and giving her evil eyes. And look at it like, you are being watched. Your mannerisms are going to be watched to see how you respond, how you react. And it's important that you keep yourself calm, cool, and grounded. And when things if they're not going well, being calm, cool, and grounded about that as well.
And tell them about the Cordell video. Because you mentioned that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That one I can find. Whoops, hit the wrong button. Chrome. If you go to the main site, you scroll down to the expert interviews right here. And why is this not giving me the ability to scroll? This is annoying. What is going on here? In here, what if I do this? I don't want to play all of them. I just want to see them. If you scroll down to the interview with Cordell and Cordell Law Firm, we talk specifically about that, and he talks about the court process. So I would encourage you to check out that video. Okay, so I'm going to start wrapping this up, and what I would say on that is if you have not subscribed to the channel and you think it would be helpful, even though this was a weird live stream, please consider doing that and hit the bell notification so that you get notified whenever I post a video. You can also, let me come over here. No, I got to fix my website, so I'm not going to do the website stuff because if I send you over there and you're on the wrong one, it's just going to go to the wrong place. And on that, guys, I hope that even though this show was kind of weird, I hope that it was okay. And I will chat with you guys on the next video. Take care. Have a good rest of your day.